What is up, guys? Today I'm just going to be doing a video basically talking about mass multiplayer online games and basically what they're going to do to the next generation consoles, as well as Microsoft's recent changes to the Xbox One. What you're watching in the background is The Division, the E3 gameplay for The Division, which is a new MMO to be released on the next gen consoles, which is by Tom Clancy. So all of you Splinter Cell fans, I'd say you're going to love this game. It looks absolutely amazing, as you can see in the footage. I suggest watching in 720 so you get a better idea of the graphics. But yeah, so MMO games in next gen consoles are going to be a lot more popular than they were on, although there weren't many on current gen. Not that I can think of any off the top of my head, but I'd say there were a few. If so, they weren't that big. At the moment, PC is the main place to go for MMO games, but with Elder Scrolls taking the Elder Scrolls Online to console, so the PS4 and the Xbox One will have Elder Scrolls Online, it really does change things up a lot, which I'm actually really happy about, because I was actually considering saving up for a decent gaming PC just so I could play Elder Scrolls Online, because it's going to be so badass. But now that they've announced it for PS4 and Xbox One, although it's going to be on different servers, so you won't be able to play PS4 against the Xbox, I think it's just the way it's set up. But because you're not going to be able to do it that way, the players, like the worlds, aren't going to be as jam-packed probably as PC, but you're still going to get a decent gaming experience out of it. So the Division that you're watching now is basically a game where everything's kind of failed. If you think of Die Hard 4, the movie, where everything fails and all the cars are really useless, the towns are basically ghost towns. Although it's in a big city, everything's like that. So you're walking around here, is the player with two other people. So as you can see, this could be you and maybe two of your mates from across the country or something like that, which is absolutely awesome. To be able to run around with your mates and either tear up other people or things like that is going to be really cool. Now, the PvP in the MMO games is going to be quite interesting, just because everyone's going to have a really decent connection, going off basically Call of Duty at the moment. So if you play Black Ops 2 and you get a slightly laggy connection, you're either going to get a bullshit kill or you're going to get killed, which is going to be bullshit. And it's not really going to be played out fairly, which is going to be quite interesting when it comes to MMO games like this, how fair things are going to be when connections come into play, because you're going to have to handle such an open world and like communications and all that kind of thing, who's got a headset, all the different little things that are going to affect who's a better player and whatnot is going to be quite interesting. As you can see here, this game is completely advanced from any shooter we have at the moment. Just watch as he gets shot at from behind the car, and as you see, the windows in the car actually shatter. They don't just take one or two bullets and then the window falls out and shatters like Grand Theft Auto or COD at the moment. It actually puts little holes throughout the window, and when there's enough holes in the window actually shatters, which is just awesome. Like, I am so pumped to play this game. It is ridiculous. Probably one of my most anticipated games for the next gen consoles. And as you can see here, they call in a friend who brings in a little drone and kind of scouts out the area for him. So he might be off somewhere else and controlling the drone, which is also really cool. And as you can see there, a Molotov was thrown and he jumps the counter. Also, what I want to discuss is basically what Xbox have done. I know everyone already probably knows by now that Xbox have basically turned around and said, alright, we're not going to have any restrictions on used games or trading or anything like that. The PS4 is currently dominating us, so we need to do something, and that's what they did. They have no restrictions on used games. Also, no 24-hour online checks required anymore, so you won't need to connect to the internet once every 24 hours just to play your Xbox, even on offline games. So that has been removed, and you only need to connect once when you first get the console, I believe. They've also gone from not throwing in a headset, because apparently the Kinect was going to be a good enough microphone to be used. But if you think about it, having a Kinect, which is usually going to be set up, I'd say, on the top of your TV or in front of your TV somewhere, and trying to communicate with friends is an absolute bitch of a thing to do. Try talking to your mates about your plans for tomorrow, or to someone else about, I don't know, a secret, or just something that you don't want the rest of your family to hear, which is most of the time. That'd just suck, like trying to talk over, as well as that issue there, trying to talk over game sound. So if you've got the game up fairly loud because someone is in another room or something like that, you're not going to be able to communicate clearly through a microphone that's the same distance away as your TV. So they've changed that and thrown in a headset. While PS4 and Xbox both now have headsets in the box. Even though the PS4 is like an earpiece and it goes in one side and you can just kind of communicate with chat only through it, I still find PS4 is probably better, although neither fuss me, as I probably won't use either. I'll just stick to my Astros, which I do recommend for a headset. Apart from that, and the Xbox doing its little 180, which would be quite interesting to change the name to an Xbox 180. There's not a lot I want to talk about in this video. It was mainly just a quick discussion on MMOs, and for those of you that haven't seen The Division, so you can get a rough idea of it. It wasn't actually that big of a game at E3, like it didn't get a lot of publicity or a lot of reviews or anything like that, especially not compared to like Call of Duty Ghosts and all that. I hope this game is a COD killer, although it's not going to be because it's not an MMO, it's not an FPS, sorry. But for an MMO, it looks absolutely brilliant. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, guys, please give it a like. Really appreciate that. A comment of what you thought, maybe what you're excited for on next-gen consoles, and subscribe for more informational videos. I'll see you in my next video.